let me tell you that we will give time to reading your tweets as we go along on the show. So for those of you sending in your tweets are coming in fast and furious. We'll get some time to go through them. But let me just tell you that we've made a change. Dumnodi Okonta has joined us now, and Dumnodi has been doing a fantastic job of monitoring teams for us and how they're getting ready for the new season. Dumnodi, let me welcome you to Sports Tonight this beautiful Tuesday. You're looking very sweet.
I'm blushing.
All right, Dumnodi, let's roll very quickly. Let's start with Rangers. Kelechi Emetiole, I'm told, has resumed as manager of Rangers, replacing John Obu. Any truth in the report?
Well, that was just Twitter handle. Obviously, we know that Obu is no longer going to be the coach.
Kelechi Caterpillar Emetiole.
Yes, the man who has moved around different places and moved even to the deep, to Maiduguri, to take a team from the National League straight to the Premier League for the first time in close to
one of the best
more than 10 years. He went to Atlant. He had a few issues in the first 5 games, but suddenly from the 6-7 games, then he picked up, and Atlant was able to get where, of course, they didn't win the league, they didn't get the continental ticket, but they were able to survive.
One of the best football playing teams last season.
Yes, they got some of the best results on the road. And it's going to Rangers. We know Rangers, we know what they can do. We know that Rangers have a tall order, even though they don't spend so much money on players.
The last time Rangers won any kind of trophy was about 30 years ago.
And the last time they ever played the contest was controversy.
They got disqualified a few years ago.
Got disqualified. The club got to the final and won.
Because
So that means for Rangers, they have to look at because Kelechi is the coach that when you want to get the job done, you have to give him the time. It's not an Obu that you put him on half salary and you want him to do a good job. Even though he tries to be a bit quiet and calm, but once he gets angry, then Rangers has to watch it. He can punch below the belt. So for Rangers, they need to give him all the support, give him what is needed to get Rangers back to where they should be in the league. Rangers seems to be the only team and one of the oldest. In fact, the only team never to be relegated. They are played in every top flight football in Nigeria.
All right, so that's the story of Kelechi Emetiole. That's the man that will be in charge of Rangers for the new season. Well, Dumnodi, let's move on and move to Kwara now. Let's go to Ilorin very quickly. We're also told that there's been a change in Kwara. What's the story?
Well, the coach,
Samson Onuanel's contract not renewed.
Former Ocean Boys coach has been asked. I don't know, has not been renewed after that. Well, it was a difficult season, even though they got promoted at the end of the day. You know, under some controversial because of the way the last game went, but it was a good result. Seeing the team get relegated the policy they got back to the top flight. We know all these things was based on the fact that the governor of the club, after they got relegated last season, he offset part of their sign-on fees and their salaries, and they got motivated for the new season. So they played like a team who were not relegated, because they played like a team who wanted to go back to the top flight. But it's quite unfortunate that Samson Onuanel's contract could not be renewed, and of course there is still another issue again. Niger Tornadoes have paid to renew the contract of Gordon Kokowa. So it means that Kokowa is also not going to be the coach of Niger Tornadoes for next season, and they are looking at Bernard Ogbe to come to Tornadoes.
He's been there before.
He's been there before.
Led them to winning the FA Cup, I think in the 90s.
The year they beat Rangers.
The year they beat Rangers in the final. So yes. That's the story. So for Kwara United, back in the top flight, in the Glow Premier League, yes, but not with Samson Onuanel. So surely it's for a replacement for him.
Continues
for Kwara United. Okay, let's move away and talk about Kano Pillars now. Dumnodi, Kwara Pillars are not just preparing for the continent for domestic football.
They are preparing for the continent.
They are also preparing for the continent. And what's the story? I'm told that there's one very high-powered delegation that.
Remember the last time they set up this committee, they got to the semi-final of the CAF Champions League, where they had the high-powered delegation. At one point, they met Al Ali on the way. They beat Al Ali, got to the group phase, got to the semi-final, got beaten by Atlant FC of Owerri. They set up a high-park committee. The chairman of the committee is the deputy governor of the state. But we have other members, key members. Former NFF president Ibrahim Galadima is the vice president. The general manager of Kano Pillars, Babangida Umar, is a member. We have the FA chairman of Kano State, that's Rabi Sharif, is a member. We have 2 NFF officials. Of course, that's these ones I don't know. It's NFF that we nominate. Abayola, the former chairman of Kano Pillars, a member of that committee.
So they got everybody back.
Yes, former sole administrator of Kano Pillars, Kabiru Baita, is a member of that committee. The former executive director marketing of Ondo State Football Agency, Mike Idoko, is a member of that committee.
He's also they brought everybody back. They brought everybody into this. This is like NFF executive committee. Wow.
Well, that's to make sure Kano Pillars, the disappointment of last 2 seasons, 2 seasons ago and last season, must not be repeated. And they want to get beyond the preliminary stage, because the CAF Champions League, like winners take all. Those who catch us in the preliminary round and those who catch us in the very last qualifying round are almost going to be at the same level. Because it's a winner take all, because when you get to the group phase, it's a different proposition altogether. That's when a lot of these clubs want to see the fruit, want to reap the fruit of their investment. Because for every goal scored, you get $1,000. For every victory, you get some amount of money. So I think that's where you call the money spinning stage of the CAF Champions League. But the preliminary stage is just to keep spending money. If you get knocked out, then there's nothing to gain from it.
But let's talk about
and of course, Kano Pillars added the player.
I was going to come to that. The recruitment for the new season.
Yeah, they added the player. Because last week we mentioned that they added 5 players from the team. Another one has been added to the team from Academy Warriors, and that's John Jordan. He's the central defender. So these 2 central defenders for Academy Warriors last season, Ruben Ogbonaya and John Jordan, the Cameroonian, have moved to Kano Pillars. I don't know what Academy will do for this new season. They have to get they have to get new central defender.
So, Cosmos, where does this put us?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I was listening to him talking about Kano Pillars and how they're preparing for the CAF Champions League, and I was thinking that this is like a good motivation for the club. I mean, this is like high-level sort of preparation. I could remember way back then too, when Eyimba won the CAF Champions League. I'm talking 2003, 2004. The governor at the time too did something like this, brought in some very experienced people when it comes to football administration, and of course, Eyimba is one of the few teams that won the CAF Champions League back to back. So I think this is a good one. Let's just see if this will actually help them to, get into the money spinning stage of the CAF Champions League, and then, get to the semi-final and hopefully the finals.
Let me add one story about Wari Rose. Wari Rose, the coach of the team, was on holidays in the UK to see his family after the...
Polak Bogun.
He was in the country today. I'm going to meet with the management tomorrow. They'll fix a date for resumption, of course not the end of the week, because they've already communicated to the players who have been asked, who are part of the 23 players, the names of the 23 players that was sent to CAF for the CAF competition club. 50 players have been asked to leave the club. Some players are still in question. Adubike Igwekwe, Ike Tango, Ogene Karo Tebo, and Bonan Salami, their contract, Bonan Salami contract has expired, so they're still negotiating whether he's going to be at the club. Adubike asks a question as regards whether he's going to be at the club because he has offers from abroad. Ike Tango said he's no longer going to be at Wari Wolves for this new season, so he's moving down east. Table is going to be part of their first round. If they get to the next round, it's likely not going to be part of the team. So they're looking at,
as well.
Yes, they're looking at how they can pay for their scoring. In case these players are not available, they are getting 2 players from the feeders team, and they're going to be going into a close camping, not far away from Warri. They're going to Kwale.
Okay. To get ready for the new season and the challenges of playing in the CAF Confederations Cup. Bruno, thank you so much for this update. I'm sure you're going to be giving us this on a regular basis, not just around the teams on the continent, around all the clubs getting ready for the
clubs
new.
in the north.
Yeah, the teams in the north, even teams down here in the south, shooting stars and all
the one
of
that will go promoted.
Yeah, please. Yeah, all right. So we expect more from you as we go on. All right, let's take a look at the FA Cup. We talked about this very briefly yesterday, but we have the fixtures on the screen for you. 4th round draw for the FA Cup. Brighton and Arsenal, Chelsea and Millwall, Cambridge United against Manchester United, Manchester City against Middlesbrough, Rochdale against Stoke City. We have Arsenal against Bournemouth, Aston Villa, beg your pardon, against Bournemouth, and then these are the selected fixtures that we have for you. Okay. Just to take a look at what is going on in the FA Cup in England. For those of you that have been asking questions about the draw for the 4th round. Let's spend the rest of the time to read your comments on Twitter, because a lot of your comments on Twitter coming through. Let's start with this one. Real Go Reala at Real Go Reala says, Akinfenwa is a perfect example of an African athlete. never let Wade get him down. I think he's talking about a certain
player
who played against Liverpool yesterday.
Played against Liverpool.
He played against Liverpool yesterday. Yeah,
very large guy. It's a good
big guy, big African player. Well, I'm not sure is
bigger than Shitu.
Like there's also same size as Shitu.
It's actually the biggest player in the world.
I'm told
he's 350 pounds.
Heavy guy. Yeah. That's what he is. Hip hop at SIQS_Knight says, explain the reason why Edward was sent out of the camp of the Super Eagles. I think we've explained already.
Yeah.
And then Bason Yakabiru Tunde says, for me, the best way to deal with the issue of Edward is to allow him out of the Eagles camp. Good one. I mean, he's commending the NFF for telling him to go and sort himself out and maybe resolve his future before getting back. See Arua Jr. at 5 Chidi says one of the ways to end this transfer saga for our clubs is to stop giving 1-year contracts, but then giving them 3 to 4-year deals.
I think that's what they said.
And that's LMC started it last season, and that is maybe what is going to save Dolphins if eventually they are able to have their way in this issue. And Nuruddin Iboy Oluobo says, I want a change in the FIFA executive. He's talking about Prince Ali Hussein and Seb Blatter. Oyediji also says, Oyediji Obi at Professor Shenwo Oyediji says, Seb Blatter is gradually becoming a sit-tight leader in sit-tightism in FIFA for decades. He needs to leave now. These are comments that we can take on on Twitter. And I think that's how we have to wrap it up on Sports Tonight. Let's close the show on this note. Tomorrow we'll be back with a bigger and a better one. Enjoy the rest of the night. Maybe we'll leave you with some highlights from the Hopman Cup, Canada beating the United States of America. And we'll wrap it up on that note. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.